This old guy DIY video has to do with using a 28-inch DeWalt toolbox as a stealth gun case for an AR pistol with a 10.5-inch barrel. This is the AR pistol with a 10.5-inch barrel and an SBR 3 pistol brace on the back. So it comes in at just about 26 inches, and I'll show you how it sits in the box. Just for the sake of ease, I put two pieces of foam in the bottom for my demonstration here, but this thing sits diagonally with very little room, which is beautiful as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to cut some foam for the bottom, and I'm also going to cut a little bit of foam for the sides, and I'm going to modify this thing so I have the ultimate toolbox gun case to put in the back of the truck and not leave anybody with the impression that there's a gun in the back of the truck. This is how it looks with the gun just set in the box. So it just barely fits, has a little bit of room there. So I'm going to add a little foam to give it a more positive location. I also considered just laying it this way. You can see it's just a hair too, the box is a hair too short. So I was considering grinding out these little tabs, but I decided that it'll work just fine if I set it down that way. And by angling it like this, the little optic hits this spot, which is all milled out in the top. If I turn it the other way, the optic runs into this thing. So I did not want to put it like this. That way it doesn't have the clearance. Now for this project, I'm using a piece of 2-inch foam from another project. And in this case, I wanted a piece that's 3.5 inches tall, so I measured my 3.5. Then I lay my square on there. So I measured 3.5 on this end, 3.5 on this end, lay my square across, and then I'm using a regular fillet knife for cutting. And when I'm cutting, I angle the knife back so it's at a pretty severe angle, and it just went through this thing like butter. It's really nice. And this is what my cut face looks like. Now in a previous project I had cut this stuff with a regular handsaw, and that's how that came out. So I'm going to put that side down for this project, but you see how nicely cut this one was with the fillet knife. So I cut the first piece 3 inches wide by 9.5 long, and you see when I set that under, that keeps the barrel from contacting the bottom of the box, and you have a little room here. So now I'm going to put a similar piece that's 3 by 9.5 under the pistol brace on this side. Now I set the piece on the muzzle end on end, so it's actually 3 inches high. And on the brace end, I turn it on its side, so it's only 2 inches high. And that seems to work out just right. The grip here is just barely touching the bottom of the box. And now I'm going to cut a piece that will go right on the bottom just to hold everything in place. And the reason I did the ends first is now when I stick the big piece here in the bottom, it will basically push these ends out against the side of the box. If I had done the bottom first and then put the ends on, every time you took the AR in and out of the box, these ends would want to fall in or move around. So I should have a nice positive location when I'm done here in a minute. I cut this piece for the bottom 9.5 wide by 17.75 long. Then I put the gun in there, and I just took a screwdriver and kind of scratched a mark in here where the grip comes down. So now I'll just take the knife, the fillet knife, and cut that out. When I started this adventure, I didn't know that I was going to lay this piece down as it is. So I could have just had this as one piece that's 9.5 by 21.5. Now I've cut that little spot in where the pistol grip is going to set, and I'll put the gun in there. Now I have the gun set in place. Show you my little spot here. It just falls down right in there. You can see it's engaged back here, and it's sitting on that block of foam in the front. It's pretty stable right there. So I'll do a little bit more to make it stable and locked in place, and that'll be the end of this operation. When the gun is in the case, I didn't want the thing to be able to pop up if the toolbox were flipped over or anything else. So I took a piece of foam and I put it there in the top corner, so when I close the box, that contacts this thing and compresses it. And I took another piece of foam and I just cut a area in it that will fit over the front of the rail, and I left that up about 2.5 inches in the front, so you can see there's indentation in the box. But now with that piece of foam there and this little foam in the corner, I close the box. The box can be flipped upside down, turned sideways. You can do whatever you want to do to it, and that pistol will not move around. So it's nice and safe. When it's time to grab it, it's just a matter of flip that out of the way, grab the gun, and you're there. Now we have the box. I'll put this little foam chunk in. Going to close the box and do the roll test, just like an old Samsonite luggage commercial. We'll see how this works out. So this is my quick, easy technique. I bought this box for $44 at Tractor Supply, and I hope this idea helps you. If so, please subscribe and have a great day.